Hey guys, welcome back to Frugal BC. We got a great live stream for you today. I've got Christian Cassini from Nitgen coming on. So if you guys don't know haven't heard what Nitgen is, it's basically kind of like a Patreon, but for creators in the Algorand space. Pretty cool. I got PG coming on as well, so I got two people from the team, and they're going to chat with us today about the platform. It is going live February 20th, at least last I heard. They can update me when they come on. And I'm going to be one of the Algorand creators on it. Now, the way it's going to work basically is we're going to have people like me, people like C. Will, like JT Invest in You, like Adam Bergman, IRL. We're going to have videos that we're going to put only on the Nifgen platform. And you'll be able to subscribe to either one of ours, or for a slightly larger fee, you can subscribe to all of them, which I would recommend because you get more bang for the buck, frankly. And what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to subscribe. You'll see all the extra content. So imagine if you had, you have like 5 podcasters you could pay one fee and listen to all their extra content. This is what it allows you to do on Algorand. So we're going to bring these guys on. It's going live really soon. And, I think February 20th is Monday. So we're really excited about it. I think it's going to be great for us. I already recorded my first video today for it. That can be put on the platform. So as soon as it goes live, I'm going to have some content on there. And what I'm going to be doing is basically, it's going to be like a portfolio review. So I've kind of been doing that in written form for my channel subscribers, kind of going away from that. In fact, I think I'm going to change my channel membership around a little bit. And instead, I'm going to be pushing people towards Nifgen because I think it's a great thing to do. Now, I don't have the join link yet for you guys. Hopefully that will be coming soon. I will add it to this video as soon as I can. So if you're watching this on replay, it very well may be in the description, so check that. Otherwise, keep checking because it'll come soon. And but you'll be able to subscribe through a creator, even if you do the whole package. So if you want to support my channel, I'd love it if you join through my link so that I get credit for that. But everyone's going to get from like a shared pool as well. So the more people that come on in general is going to help all of us. And the idea is just to help us Algorand creators. Now, I know I do other stuff like HBAR and Near Protocol. Adam does other coins as well, but a lot of our content is Algorand, and that's what we're really excited to bring you. And everything I do on Nifgen is going to be Algorand unless I really get like some incentive to do other stuff, and we'll see. But that's the point. That's the idea right now. So without further ado, let me bring these guys on for you. Here's Christian.
Here we go.
And here's PG. How you guys doing today?
Well, good.
Great.
I guess let's just kick this off. Like, I want to know how you guys got this idea to do something like this, because I don't think there's anybody else on any other chains that I know of, and you guys can correct me, maybe you know and I don't, but I don't know of anyone else doing this for any other chains, including Algorand, helping out YouTubers and bringing a platform like this.
Yeah, sure, Philip, you mind if I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, how we started this, so essentially it's like, it all started when I met Crypto Nerd on Twitter. That's kind of like the first YouTuber from Algorand that I got to speak with. And we scheduled on a call and we kind of got to know each other, because back then we were actually building a different product. It was supposed to be an NFT marketplace. That's kind of like what Nifgen was supposed to be at its origins. But then after talking to Crypto Nerd, he kind of told us about all the pain points that the creators struggle to monetize, especially YouTubers. And that's kind of like what kicked off Philip and I to do a lot of research. And after we got the facts down, which in the world, there's over 60 million video creators on YouTube and Twitch, and more than 98% of them earn less than $12,000 a year, which is below poverty line in the United States. Besides the fact that most of you guys that make so little spend between 500 to over 1,000 hours a year producing video content, which is insanity if you think about it. Yeah, that's what really essentially energized us to say, okay, this is a much bigger problem that needs to be solved. And I mean, Philip, you want to talk to a little bit maybe like about because we do have some companies, some competitors who are similar to us, but not really fully like us.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're always kind of upfront and transparent about the fact that, certain things, I guess the concept itself is not innovative because YouTube and Twitch, like Christian said, the stats speak for themselves.
Right.
But the thing is that there seems to be a massive problem in Web3 is that there's two actually problems. Number one is that many of these, I guess, entities are too Web3-ish. So they require, the wallet, and they require that full immersive Web3 experience, which for many people is sometimes a little too complex. And the other
Yeah.
problem seems to be engagement and retention. So, like for instance, like
Mhm.
I guess some of you guys may be familiar with like Odyssey. Well, they're the guys with the library. Library is the blockchain, and
Oh
what
yeah.
happened with the SEC and all that. But yeah, they created this pretty good
Mhm.
platform called Odyssey, which is quite popular. I've personally spoken to a few creators who use it, but they always say like, yeah, I mean, I used it once and I never really came back. And like all the top videos, like they mostly get like maybe 100 views, I don't know, 120. So there seems to be an engagement issue. But there are definitely like a lot of platforms that even went out before. Like we know a little bit about Theta and like kind of what they're doing. They're a little bigger. And there's certainly been some other platforms that we have actually kept tabs on for about a year,
Mhm.
starting in 2021, and those I guess are dead. So
Oh.
kind of shows that there's been a lot of attempts, or some companies have actually maybe even gained small foothold, but nobody's really broken through yet. So that's kind of what
Right.
excites us.
Well, I kind of gave a little bit of an overview, the way I see it from my perspective when I started the stream, but maybe you guys can kind of like really break down how the platform works and what it's going to look like, both from the video creator side and from the user side, from the people that are going to be the patrons, so to speak.
Gotcha, sure. So I think I can answer this in two ways. One, I can give like a high level overview of Nifchen, and then I can go a little bit into more detail what's actually going to be present on mainnet launch.
Mhm.
Kind of like to split it up. So high level overview is that so on Nif, the main problem, like Philip was saying, the reason why engagement rates are low is because users on YouTube and Twitch are not really rewarded for the amount of time and effort they put in into engaging with video content. So on Nifgen, users are actually going to be rewarded for their engagement with utility token. Wait, are you guys still here?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I just put you on the
Oh,
screen.
yeah.
Go.
oh,
I might
okay,
do that
perfect.
on
Yeah,
occasion.
you guys
Yep.
disappeared.
Keep
I was
going.
like, am I the only one speaking to myself? Okay, I'll keep going now. Yeah, so essentially, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so users are going to be rewarded for their engagement on Nifgen with utility tokens. So when you, let's say, click a video, rate a video, or comment on a video, or let's say you have like an hour-long video, the more you watch it, like the more parts, the more tokens you're going to receive. Now, these are going to be utility tokens. There's no monetary value behind them. I can actually talk about the token a little bit later.
Mhm.
And so this token is going to be used to access features we have on the platform that's going to help users better connect with their creators. For example, one feature we have planned down the road is that a user is going to be able to go, let's say for you, Frugal BC, to book a call with you and do a one-on-one, kind of like we're doing right now, so that the
Mhm.
fan gets access to his favorite creator, for example. My personal favorite utility, which is way down the road, to be honest, is let's say BC, you're doing a live stream. Users are going to be able to use the token to vote on what content you should be producing in real time during the live stream.
Wow.
That's really going to get your true fans involved in content creation along with you.
Mhm.
And we argue that this is going to dramatically improve engagement rates as well. And now, so that's kind of like the high level overview on Nifchen. For when we have on the mainnet launch, which is keeping our fingers crossed, that'll be on February 20th, around 8 p.m. Eastern time. So it's going to be late at night, making sure all the right stuff is working. We're not going to have those features yet when we release. So users will still be able to earn the utility tokens, but there's nothing
Mhm.
they'll be able to use to spend it on. Why are we doing this? Because we want to get a product out there for users to try it out, see what they like, what they don't like. Plus, Philip and I have developed a really good feedback loop idea on how to user interviews, how to test out the product. So we're actually really looking forward to getting the feedback when the product comes out. It's going to be a little bit rough around the edges, but we're all about the
Mhm.
journey. So it's all going to be about improving the product once we release.
Yeah. And also, I'll just quickly add that,
Mhm.
like, obviously, right now we're more of an Algorand focused product, and of course, Algorand people like yourself, BC, Seaworld,
Mhm.
JT, and all that, like, they have given us the platform to start building this, and you guys are the
Mhm.
most loyal supporters we have. But we will also be expanding, into other Web3 ecosystems as well as beyond. So we're going to be making a lot of new improvements and revamping things, and really after mainnet is when things are really going to start picking up.
Okay. What I want to ask too, like, tell me about like developing this. Yeah, so I assume you went on. I was going to ask you why Algorand, but I think that's kind of obvious because, like you said, you were already talking with Monty. But what brought you guys to the Algorand ecosystem in the first place? Because I'm guessing you were speaking with Monty because you already had some interest in Algorand.
Oh, so this is let's take it from the top. That's actually an interesting story, I think. So our journey in blockchain actually didn't start on Algorand. It started on the Cardano ecosystem. That was kind
Oh
of like
yeah.
where we started, and we like the community and everything. But from our personal opinion, we didn't like the develop how you had what you had to do to develop applications on Cardano at that particular moment in time. Again, it's just
Mhm.
our opinion. You can find many people who love the development experience on Cardano. There's some really great people there. And so at that point, we wanted, and we actually, half of the team that we have is from the Cardano ecosystem. We brought them over to Algorand.
Oh well.
And so at some point, where we were like, okay, so which other chain do we go to? And it was between Algorand and Solana. And we chose Algorand for, there's so many reasons. But primarily back then it was that the chain doesn't fork, because if you're doing anything
Yeah.
NFT related and your blockchain forks, it
I'm so glad you guys didn't go on Solana because man, what a mess that would have been.
yeah,
There's not a lot of coins I actively diss on my channel, but Solana is definitely one of them. I mean, down what 6 or 7, 8, 9 times, something like that last year. Plus, the scandals with only saying there was 8 million Solana, and then the total supply was actually 16 million. Just so many stuff that's like red flags in
yeah,
my opinion in terms of Solana. So yeah, I'm really glad you guys chose Algorand.
yeah. We dodged a bullet, I guess you can say.
Interesting, yeah. So going from Cardano to Algorand, I almost said Solana. Going from Cardano to Algorand, what can you say about the difference in development? The support you get, just some of the technical sides. I'm really curious to hear about that.
I'll just say night and day. Like,
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, the thing is that, like, for instance, with Cardano, I mean, granted, we were there, like in 2021, so this was like, I guess, the summer of 2021, and we were like even thinking of bringing on another company to like even help us just deal with like the blockchain elements of Cardano because it was so difficult.
Mhm.
And the other thing is that, like, always something that will personally stick out to me is that, like, I remember we were making this decision and Christian connected with the guy from Algorand Business Development. I believe his name was Federico De Michele. And I remember this guy, like, apparently replied the next day. We set up a call, like, I think 48 or 72 hours later, and they were just like so welcoming, and they gave us all the tools, and whenever we had
Mhm.
questions or there were some issues, somebody would always help us out. Like, the community's been super helpful and very welcoming. So whereas in Cardano there seemed to be more like, it's a great community, but everybody seems to be a little bit like atomized and are kind of on their own, and like, sure, they'll talk to each other and everything, but there doesn't seem to be much of a like way of getting in new people. Like, you almost, to Cardano, like, it's almost like an acquired taste, I guess, to some extent. Like, you have to be predisposed to it almost.
That's really interesting. I know what you're talking about because when I was at Decipher, which was thanks in a large part to Nitgen, appreciate that. At Decipher, you could see how just thinking about like the gaming side, like all the gaming guys were all friends with each other. They were all sharing ideas and talking, and it wasn't like, oh yeah, don't go to their booth, come to my booth. Everyone was pretty cool, and I found that throughout most of the ecosystem with Algorand too. Most of the developers were pretty open, willing to chat and share ideas and things, and so I can kind of see what you mean there for sure.
Mhm. No,
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
speaking of Decipher, maybe you can talk about, so you guys helped several creators, including myself, go to Decipher. Can you kind of talk about like when it went into that decision? Because it was a pretty big expense. I mean, for I don't know, I don't even know how many total. I know Adam and me and the next blog folks and maybe Algo HQ. Did you guys send him too? I'm not sure. No,
No,
okay, he went on his own.
no,
Well, I don't
it
know
was you
all
five.
the people you sent, but maybe you can kind of talk about what went into that decision and the strategy.
No, yeah, sure. I mean, because essentially, like, we always wanted to form like a close like relationship with like the video creators, like an Algorand, like, right, to really like also in terms of product development. Like, it's good that like Philip and I were talk to you guys a lot. I mean, we follow up with you guys on a weekly basis for sure. Now it's becoming almost daily, essentially. So like
Mhm.
we always wanted to like be more like partners as opposed to you guys just being users on the platform, right? So and the one time I think it was JT that made like a Twitter post saying, "Hey, we're raising money to go to the Cipher for it," and we already knew them. Like we talked to them, they helped us in product development and stuff like that. And we're like, "Wait, these guys need help going to the Cipher?" And like that's kind of like what kicked it off. And so I jumped
Mhm.
on a call with them, told them how much money do you guys would need, yada yada. And then like Philip and I talked privately, and we're like, you know what, these guys are gonna become more like of our partners as opposed to just users. Plus, you guys deserved it with all the work you put in to help promote Algorand and all the projects. To be sincere, so I'm like, for us, it was a no-brainer to help you guys out, to be honest. And then I know, like, yeah, I reached out to you as well because you made it all starts on Twitter, actually.
Yeah, it
So like,
did.
yeah, yeah. So you made a Twitter post, and so then I reached out to you. Then I think Adam also made a Twitter post, so I reached out to him.
Mhm.
So spoiler alert, guys, get in touch with me on Twitter. That's the message to be honest here.
Yeah, it's funny too. I always feel bad. Like I never want to be like someone who makes that kind of ask, but it came up because the guy behind Algonaut blog was talking about wishing. I think he said something like, "Yeah, I would have went to Decipher. It was somewhere closer, but that just seems a little far." And I think I said something like, "Yeah, it's." I was in the same boat. Like I thought it was going to be like in Austin or something like that. And I was like, yeah, I could probably swing that. And then I found out it was in Dubai. I'm like, oh geez, that's a little
Yeah,
that's a little out of my price range for considering the channel size and everything. Like maybe if I was at like 10 or 20,000 subscribers, I'd have the kind of revenue coming in where it would make sense to make that expense. But then Christian's like, hey, maybe I can help, and we chatted from there and got it
yeah.
all set up. So it was a cool experience. Did you guys feel like, did you guys feel like you got a lot out of Decipher personally and professionally? Did it help the business a lot?
Yes, I have to say, like, so I'm all about the culture of smart working, working from home, and all that stuff. But after seeing everybody through a screen for like over a year,
Yeah.
it's good seeing them like in real life. And
Hmm.
now it's funny because people say I think you say the TV adds 10 pounds, right? I'm gonna take it one step further and say it makes you about 3 inches shorter. Because when I went to the Cipher, everybody was so much taller than I expected them to be. It was so funny, to be honest. But no, it was great. I mean, I think I got to meet just about everyone that's building on Algorand, which was exhausting at some
Right.
point.
It
Yeah,
was
the only thing
exhausting.
yeah, it was exhausting completely. The only part about the Cypher which I personally didn't like was there were some time where there were really, really good panels happening in different stages at the same time.
Hmm.
So like I don't have the ability to multiply, right? So I
Yeah.
had to like pick and choose where I wanted to be. But it was overall like a great experience. I got to meet so many people. I got to meet also like the guys from Vendable, NFT Domains, and AlgoSeas, and Azure
Mhm.
Tactics, Avatars. So many people, all the guys that I already knew just by talking through a screen, but meeting them in real
Mhm.
life is a whole different experience.
Yeah, you were really good for introducing me to. I know you introduced me to a number of people, including
Mhm.
someone who I'm currently working on a sponsorship deal with. So the cipher ended up being pretty lucrative for me, or may end up
Mm.
being pretty helpful for my channel in that regard. And I know I gained a bunch of new subscribers just from people like meeting me and saying, I would always get like, well, what project are you with? And I'd be like, oh, actually, I've had the Frugal BC YouTube channel. And then they'd be like, oh, let me look that up. So a ton
Yeah.
of people like subscribed on the spot. And then I actually did get recognized a couple times too, which was kind of cool. Definitely something that doesn't happen in real life generally, but that was kind of neat. So yeah, it was really interesting. It was exhausting. There was part of it because I just never adjusted to the time difference. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't seem to sleep more than 2 hours at any night, like no matter what. I mean, I tried to go to bed at a normal time or whatever, and I just could not sleep. So I think it seemed to be pretty universal. Like pretty much everyone there was like tired, it just perpetually tired and was not getting
Yeah,
really any kind of sleep. So even John Woods, when I talked to him briefly, he said the same thing. He
gotcha.
was just exhausted. Well, I kind of want to shift over to some nuts and bolts. So you guys are kind of setting up like a recurring revenue model, like a subscription model, basically, which I think is really smart. I think it's one of the best. I think it's one of the best, pricing models that you can have right now in a business. And now, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but people are going to be paying in Algorand. Is that correct?
For the time being, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any concerns about how that would work with having like a recurring revenue model? Because you have to, is it going to just automatically deduct money from their Algorand wallet every month, or are they
Oh
going
my gosh.
to? How's that going to work? I'm just really curious about the nuts and bolts because I'm interested in the business side of things too.
Yeah, sure. So essentially, the way we did it is that the users can top off. So let's say if you pay for just 1 month, after 1 month, like you either spend more to like subscribe for more months, or you just lose your access for it. We don't have it
Okay.
where like you keep on getting charged and like you forget about it. Like
Uh,
we don't have it set up the way. You have to actually come back and keep on like adding money to it.
are you guys concerned about churn at all from that model? It seems like that would have a higher churn than when you just have like an automatic deduction.
Yeah, well, that's a good question, and I guess we'll find out. That'll be
Yeah,
We're
right.
always concerned about churn. I mean, that's just a
yeah.
startup's life. Like retention rates and churn. I mean, even investors, like they're always at like, what are the retention rates? Like, how
Yeah.
sticky is the platform? So that's just
Mhm.
always a problem. But I think kind of with this, the beauty of this is that it's an opt-in. So we're not gonna like assume that you're just gonna keep subscribing. We're kind of like, listen, it's a conscious choice.
Mhm.
If you want, keep moving. But also, we're working on the integrations to make it, with the fiats and all that. So the platform will evolve in terms of the payments.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I guess that puts it on us too. Like we got to make sure we have good content on the Nitgen
Mm.
platform to keep them coming back. So
Oh
I
yeah.
appreciate that. I get that. Yeah, it sounds good. I think it's good to like maybe have that fiat side too eventually. So I'm glad to hear you guys are working on that. But now as far as payouts to the creators, are those going to be also an Algorand?
hmm Yeah, so right now in Algorand, but we're gonna add in the future the ability for the payouts for the creators to also be in stable coins like USDC or USDT,
Mhm.
which it creates like some stability. Because I also know once we get to like onboarding Web2 video creators, are gonna be like, I want to get paid at least in some, if I get paid in crypto, in some type of stable coin crypto, right? Where hence the name stability, right? So
Right.
that's what we're gonna be doing.
Yeah, it was just something I was just thinking about today. Is there's some interesting taxing implications when you get paid in crypto, like do you have to like start measuring your cost basis or at least kind of do the math? Although I guess it would make sense because you get paid out and then that's whatever it is, that's your payout, and so that's how you count it. And I'll probably keep track on a spreadsheet or something just so I know
hmm
for taxes and stuff. Now, is your company based in the U.S.? I can't remember if I asked you this before.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
so
Yeah.
Incorporated in Delaware, yeah, well, Miami is headquartered, but
Miami headquartered. Have you guys found it challenging to have a crypto company in the U.S.? Because this is something I was talking with John Mazzoni from NF Domains. That's kind of the challenges of being a U.S. based crypto company. What's that been like for you guys?
So keeping our fingers crossed. Right now, it's been perfectly fine.
Mhm.
We've been able to do everything that we had to do, like setting it up, incorporating, opening a bank account. So far, it's been perfectly fine, no
That's
problems.
good.
I do have to say that, like, one of the reasons why the utility token we're going to have has zero monetary value behind it And we also have mechanisms in place where, like, let's say you want to put it in a liquidity pool, it gets frozen, so you really can't do anything with it. It's meant to be a pure platform token. And I was on the next block, we were there like 2 days ago. The reason why we're doing like this is to be compliant with laws and regulation we have in the States. Because right now, I mean, if you have a token with a monetary value, it's just, yeah, I mean, it's just way too risky, to be honest, from a regulatory perspective.
One thing I
Yeah,
was talking with John too is just how like easy it is, how shockingly easy it is to create an ASA. Like it's literally four forms, and maybe a picture of the coin if you want, and you basically have a coin with like, and then all you have to do is create some liquidity on Tinyman, and boom, you can basically make yourself a millionaire on paper with like a few different steps. Now, of course, to actually realize that value, you'd have to get people to buy into the coin. But it's kind of wild that you can just basically make yourself a millionaire in about, I don't know, a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's such a low barrier to entry. It's insane.
So it's like a low barrier to entry, but it's like once you're in, now you have like you basically created this coin, and now you have all these taxing implications, and you just I don't know how closely the IRS pays attention to Algorand ASAs, but I got to think it's at least on their radar, considering it's Algorand's still in the top 40 in terms of market cap. So yeah, probably good strategy to not have a token. I can't remember if it was John or if it was someone else at Decipher that told me there's basically no reason for a company to have a token. And I don't know, obviously some projects would probably disagree with that, but
you mean like monetary token, like with a monetary value?
Yeah, monetary. Sorry, I should clarify that.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting discussion. I mean, like there's both sides of the argument. I agree that for some companies, having a token makes no sense. Like for NFT domains, for example, I don't see why they would want to have a token. They have a great working product. I have NFT domains, so like it's really great. Like my NFT is verified, everything there is verified. So their product works extremely well without having a token. So in their situation is perfect. For us, it's more about the reason why we have a token. And again, it's funny because when you say token, people are automatically assume monetary value, liquidity pools, let's pump up the price, right? Ours is more like an engagement token where it's essentially for network effects and to like give a reason for users to get involved and engage and better connect with the creators.
Hey, one other thing, if this isn't public, we'll move on, but I can't remember if you told me this was a public thing or not, but you guys are working on some projects with games. Can you talk about that?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, we can't reveal too much information yet, but we are working on partnering with gaming companies where like some creators are going to be posting videos playing their games on Nitgen. And once we have the live stream integration implemented, you guys are going to be able to stream playing on Nitgen, right? And this is good because also like with the token comes in, we have some really cool things in mind for the road where like the token is really going to be used to get fans more involved with that type of stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I've been starting to do some gaming live streams now that some of these Algorand based games are starting to come out, and so I think they're kind of fun to do. So I look forward to being able to do that on the Nitgen platform and having that be an added value for subscribers for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, gaming and live streaming, or gaming and video content, essentially just marry each other. And I mean, we've been talking to just about every gaming company on Algorand, also like Dean from the Algo Gaming Guild. So we have some really good things coming up in Q1, Q2 of 2023. Just stay tuned.
That's awesome. Well, to kind of cap things off for folks, can you kind of tell people what exactly to expect from Nitgen on launch day? What that will have, and like I said before, I'll let you go in a second. But first, just to start off with, I have my first video recorded. It'll be ready to go up for mainnet, so I'll have one on there, and I'm sure other folks are working on that as well. But if you can just tell people what to expect on mainnet launch on day one.
Gotcha. Yeah, so like just to be full disclosure, it's gonna be a little bit rough around the edges because we wanted to get a product out there for users to test. So users will be able to subscribe to a creator either through a referral link or like directly on the platform. I'll have more info about the referral link as we get closer to Monday. You'll be able to earn the token for now just by rating videos and commenting on videos. But for now, we don't have yet the features for the users to actually spend the token on, but those features are in the pipeline. So for now, users will be able to accumulate the tokens, which is great. So that when the features come forward, you guys get to spend them as much as possible to access the features for as long as possible. And so that's pretty much how it is. And when we do launch, though, we're going to have, because like I said, we've developed a really good feedback loop where we're going to have users try the product. We're going to have calls with them, kind of like we did with you creators, on how the UI and UX can be improved. And so we definitely look forward to the feedback, the good, the bad, and especially the ugly. We like when people criticize our product.
Yeah, and just to like kind of like briefly summarize, because like I know people might have like certain expectations and whatnot. But essentially you're gonna get like the platform, like Christian said, kind of like not a bare bones, but a kind of like rough around the edges. But we're gonna be polishing it as we go, and we'll be polishing it using your feedback. So your feedback, both the users and the creators, is gonna be extremely important. And the great thing is that very soon, you guys will have accumulated your tokens, and then once you get to spend them, you'll really see the value add and the proposition of Nitgen, what we're really about.
Okay, cool. Let's see. I was going to see if we had any questions. We didn't really have any questions, but Pat said one-on-one consult with FPC. This is a great feature. It's interesting, actually, because this is something I was thinking about adding, if I should do one-on-ones and how I would, what platform I would use and stuff like that. But I see some nodding. So maybe this is something you guys had been thinking about too.
Yeah, I mean, the one-on-one consult, that's essentially book a call with your favorite creator. I mean, he just used like a different language component, but that's essentially it.
Yeah, that's something you guys are thinking about implementing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, it's a very popular feature. And the one thing we noticed that, like, with YouTube, you can't really do that. I mean, like, even with the membership, I think even if you get a channel membership, they don't allow that. They just disallow that. So we were like, but wait a minute. Like, if you want, like, I want to know my my favorite content creator. Usually it's a parasocial, one-sided relationship. Here I have an opportunity to actually get to know this person, and maybe this person can give me some tips or tell me something and like really inspire me, especially if I want to become a content creator myself. We were kind of like also thinking from like a very, gestalt, like, zoom out perspective, that like, you guys have fans that are probably looking at you and they're maybe thinking, wow, like, BC, like, look at him with his channel, what he's doing. Maybe I could do something similar. And then you guys might actually be essentially creating a new generation of creators.
Maybe. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I thought about is like I've had a few people in real life that I've helped, get on the Algorand blockchain, and there's a certain subset of people that I can help that can just watch my videos and figure it out. But then there's people, like some of the people I deal with in real life, like they're not super tech savvy, and like if this stuff, like even something like simple like creating a wallet is actually kind of complicated for them, and so it really helps to have one-on-one. So if people that there's a a demand there too for people who maybe just need that extra help and say, hey, can you just help me walk me through it? Let's share screens, and you can help me set this up. I think there's definitely a lot. I'm glad I heard that, because I think there's a lot of usefulness there.
For sure.
Well, guys, I appreciate you being on today. Are there anything else that you want to leave folks with? Any last comments to give the audience here?
No, I believe we've covered all the bases. So I think that's pretty much it.
I mean, if you guys have any like further questions, if you want anything specific, like we're very active on Twitter, like DM or Discord, So.
Let me add something actually. Once we do like launch on the mainnet, I'm gonna have like, because for those that follow me on Twitter, I'm gonna have like a link tree where I'm gonna attach like a bunch of documents there. Like, so in case people have like, well, I forgot what you said about Nitgen for ABCD. You can just find me on Twitter, download the link tree, and I'll have like a bunch of formal documentation there for everyone to read.
So there's plenty of ways to contact us. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, if guys, follow these guys on Twitter, follow them on Discord. The Discord's very active. I've been keeping tabs on it every once in a while. So they got one of the good Discords. You know, some Discords are just kind of empty, but there's is pretty active. So
Yeah.
appreciate it, guys. I'm gonna send you in the waiting room, but hang around. I want to talk to you a little bit after the stream if you don't mind.
Sure. Oh,
Thank you.
yes.
Okay. All right. Well, really awesome having those guys on. Nitgen's, we're very excited about the possibilities of Nitgen, what it's going to mean for creators, and you know the extra stuff that it helps us give fans too. I just learned about the one-on-one calls that's in their future today. So we had a great discussion. I think if you guys have questions for me, keep an eye out again February 20th. And sounds like it's going to be kind of late at night, so maybe Tuesday is probably when a lot of you will see it. But I will have something on there right away. I'm going to be doing my portfolio updates, just kind of talking about my moves and what I'm doing in Algorand. So keep an eye out for that. And otherwise, guys, stay safe. Not your keys, not your crypto. Like I always say, as much as you can get stuff off exchanges and put it in different places to diversify. That way, if one thing goes away, you still got all the other things. I'd say that very eloquently, but that's the idea. That's something. It's part of like building anti-fragility. Very important for portfolios. So stay safe out there. Follow Nitgen, do all that stuff, and hit the like and subscribe button. I didn't say that at all during the live stream. And hope you guys are doing well out there, and we'll see you in the future.